Hey everyone, welcome back to Our Tech. Today what I have here is the Ulanzi. Pardon me if I'm pronouncing it wrong, because I probably am, but this is the Ulanzi U-Mic wireless lavalier microphone. From my understanding, this is actually a new model. I don't even see it on Amazon just yet. But what we're going to do today is go ahead and do an unboxing of it, and we'll go ahead and try to set it up as well. It has model AM18 on here. Hi-fi audio quality, highly sensitive, touch operation. It's got local storage, 100 meters of accessible reception, stereo, secure audio tracks. Shows here that you can connect it to a camera, or actually this is the instructions. Connect to the camera, turn it on, and then you'll sync up the transmitter and receiver. Okay, so let's go ahead and open this box up. Let's check it out. All right, so let's see what we got in the box here. Got your user manual. I'm assuming this is the charging box. Got your little wind muffs. Looks like USB-C to C cable, A to C cable, Lightning, I'm assuming that's a TRS cable. Looks like TRS to TRS. Carry pouch. I'm not sure what these are. We'll have to look at the user manual to figure that out. All right, so let's go ahead and open this up. There it is, 2 transmitters in your receiver. As soon as I opened it up, it already lit right up. And looks like this one is fully charged. And looks like this one is charging. Go ahead and take these out. This is pretty small. I'll put the dimensions on the screen for you. There are 2 transmitters, so this is a dual channel recording. This is very light, I mean like extremely light. So one of the things I really liked about this, at least in the specs, and which is one of the reasons why I've got it, or I purchased this, is because it has onboard recording. So both transmitters have onboard recording capability with 8 gigabytes of storage for up to 14 hours of backup recording. This allows you to record audio directly to each transmitter as a backup in case of wireless interference and dropouts. You can also use the transmitters as standalone recorders. And you see here, this is where you would plug your USB-C cable into in order to charge the box. This has multi-level gain adjustment for fine-tuned microphone sensitivity for audio stability, retaining more sound details even in complex recording environments. Up to 20 hours of battery life. And as I mentioned earlier, this has a 100-meter transmission range, universal capability, 3.5 millimeter TRS analog output, USB-C and iOS digital output, universal compatibility with cameras, mobile devices, and computers. Okay, so let's take a look at these. So as I mentioned before, this is your charging port. It's a USB-C charging port. And up front, I don't know if you can see it or not, you got 4 little dots here. That's going to be your charging power status indicator to let you know the status of it while it's charging. Let's look at the receiver. So this one right here is going to be your mute button for transmitter 1. This is going to be your mute button for transmitter 2. Again, this is a touch screen right here. Right here, this USB-C port is going to be your charging and data transfer port. This button, if you long press this button, it will turn it on and off. Single tap to lock or unlock the screen, and triple tap to enter pairing mode. And if we flip to this side, this right here is what they're calling the listener port. So it looks like you can plug a headset into it so you can listen to the audio from it. And this bottom port is going to be your connection port for a smartphone or camera. So that's what you're going to use these cables for. Let's take a look at one of these transmitters now. So this is what they're calling the tuner hole. And then right here is going to be your external mic interface. This button right here is going to be your power button, and if you triple tap, you can enter pairing status using this button here. This is your decibel gain. Let's flip it to the front. This right here, if it was lit up, that's basically your charging status. The one next to it is your connection status indicator. The one next to that is your receiving status, mute status indication. And then next to that is your local recording status indication. So short press it to turn it on, turn it off, long press it to mute it. So that's this button here. And this is your USB-C charging and data transfer port. Let's install one of these wind muffs here. So these would be installed right here on top of this. Let's take this one back out again. So basically you would need to line it up so it actually slides into it. Here it's sitting on top. Turn it a little bit and it pops into place. At that point, turn it 90 degrees. Now it's locked in. And to take it off, you just do it again. 90 degrees to the left, and now it comes off. So that's how you install the little fluffy little mic for it, the windscreen. So let's go back to the receiver. If the battery gets less than 3%, this will shut down on its own, so just be aware of that. And actually, let me see if I can get this into English or not. There we go. Okay, so I fiddled through that to get to it. So basically, to get to English mode, let's do this again. Scroll down so that you have that symbol on it. See, it's in English mode now because I just changed it. But look at the symbols. Go from there, go to the gear, which is your settings. Click on the settings. Go to the one that looks like a planet. That's your language. Click on that. At which point it's currently set to Chinese. When you get it, just click to English. And it looks like you only have two languages, Chinese and English. Once you get there, wipe up. Takes you back one, in which case you can change the time, reset it. You have your about screen. And then you got your brightness. Let's go to the time. So it's set for 4/26/2023 at 11:04 p.m. So let's see if we can change this. Interesting. So you have to touch it once so that it's highlighted. So now it's in blue, at which point you swipe. In order to change the value, you swipe up and down. Okay. I'll admit I actually don't like this right here at all. I think having buttons would have been a lot easier to use rather than trying to do the touch screen. So let's go back. The brightness I think is fine, so I'll leave that. Go back again. Here's the gain. Right now it's set to 0, but you have -10 up to +10 gain. You have your volume, 0 to 100. It's set for 50 right now. And then here's your mono mode, stereo, and safety. I'll just leave it on mono mode. Okay, and we're back to the main screen. As you can see while I'm talking, even though I'm not recording off of this, it is picking up my volume level. Let's go ahead and take this one out this time. So let's power this on. It looks like it's off, so hold long, press it. Okay, now it's powering up, and there it goes. Now it's detecting both of them. Only one was powered on it for a minute, that's why there was only one. Now we got both. As you can see, both volume meters are reacting to my voice. Right here, you got the signal strength of transmitter 1, which is this one. You have the signal strength of transmitter 2, which is the one still inside the case. You've got the M states that it's in mono mode, and then next to that, you've got the battery level of the receiver. And then here on the left and right, this is going to be your transmitter 1. This is the battery level, as well as the volume level going into it. And then over here, you've got the battery level of transmitter 2, as well as the volume level entering it. It looks like this has a +1 gain on it as well. I must have hit that on accident when I was messing around with it. Let's go ahead and hit the mute button for 2. So now I have muted 2. As you can see, it's no longer showing any volume, and it shows a little X over the speaker. And if you look at transmitter 2, the mic is also blinking, letting you know that it is muted. Let's go ahead and unmute it. And now it's a solid green, showing that it is recording. And again on here, it is detecting volume levels. The transmitters, just like the receiver, the transmitters also have a low battery shutdown. So if the battery gets down to 3%, it will auto shut down. All the LEDs will shut off and this thing will power off on its own. Let's go ahead and do the local mode recording on this thing. So for that would be this button here. So now it's local recording because the red light is on. Since if I want to turn it off, do a short press, and now the local recording is turned off. If I wanted to mute it, I would go ahead and hold the same button down for 2 seconds. And now it's muted because you can see the little mic icon is flashing green, which means it's muted. Hold it down again, and now it's unmuted. So what do you say we go ahead and take this outside? My backyard isn't 100 meters, unfortunately, but we'll go ahead and just do a test for how the distance that it is and see just how well it sounds. So let's go ahead and take it outside, and we'll go ahead and hook this up to my camera, and we'll give this a try and see how the audio sounds. All right, so I got one of the lavalier mics hooked up to me. I'm gonna go ahead and I'll keep walking back, and I'm gonna turn my back to the camera every so often just so you get an idea of how well the signal is. You put this in the front, that way my body does block it. Okay. And let's go ahead and start walking. Let's see how well it detects me. And now let's see how well the sound detects me. I will go ahead and get behind the tree to see if it still detects, if the tree is blocking the signal or not. Okay, and I'm still testing. All right, now I got my back to the camera. Let's see how well it sounds. I don't know if you're picking up all the sounds of me walking on the dead leaves or not. Okay, now I'm facing the camera again. I am going to get behind the tree. All right, I don't know if you can still hear me or not, but I'm behind the tree. And now I've got my back to the camera. I'm still walking, making sure there's no snakes over here. And I am at the edge up to my fence now. Okay, now I am facing the camera. I'm talking in my normal voice. I don't know if you can hear me or not. I forgot to turn on local recording. Let me turn that on now. Okay, now I just turned on local recording, so I don't know if you were still recording or not. So I'm going to go ahead and walk back with my back to the camera. That way, if it did lose audio, I'll still have it on local recording. So let me walk through here. Okay, now I've got my back to the camera and I'm walking back. Okay, so I'm walking back to the camera with my back turned. Let's see if you can still hear me. I'm talking in a normal voice. Okay, I am now facing the camera, walking back. I am going to get behind a tree. Let's see if you can hear me. Okay, get behind another tree. Okay, I'm still talking. Now let me get behind the shed to see if you can still hear me despite the fact that I've got a shed between us, because my distance is not very far from you. I'm probably 50 feet away, I think, and that's about it. Okay, back around in front to the camera again. I'll turn my back, walking back, talking into a normal voice. Let's see if you can still hear me or not. Okay, now let's go back to it again. So that was, I think this is about 100, maybe a little over 100 feet from this fence line to the other fence line. I went ahead and turned my back to the camera a couple times to see if my body blocks the signal. Walked behind a couple of trees to see if that blocked the signal. And I also walked behind my shed to see if that blocked the signal or not. I did have local recording turned on for the walk back, but I did not have it turned on for the walk to the fence line. So if we did lose audio or not, with local recording turned off, all that audio is lost. But with local recording turned on the way back here, if I did lose the signal, I still have it on my lavalier, even though it's not on the receiver itself. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back inside. So we're back inside again. One thing I wanted to mention about this receiver here, the clip is small and it actually will fit into a cold shoe. However, it doesn't fit very well. So it's not going to be a snug fit. It will be a loose fit. It will fit, but it's going to be a loose fit. When I put it on my cold shoe here on my mount, it actually slipped off once or twice, just barely touching it. It knocked it off because, like I said, it's not a tight fit. So be aware of that. It would have been better if they made this a little bit larger in order to give it a tighter tolerance against the cold shoes. So like I said, this is a new product from Ulanzi. So as of the date of this recording, it has not been put on Amazon's website yet. I'm sure it will be on Amazon soon. And once it is, I will post a link for it down below in case anybody's interested in it. And in the meantime, I am going to go ahead and be using this and testing it out thoroughly. And if I have any issues or troubles or updates, I will definitely post an update video on this lavalier mic. But until then, this has been the unboxing, setup, and test of the Ulanzi U-Mic wireless lavalier microphone. If you guys have any questions on this mic, if I am able to answer it, I will do my best to answer you. Just feel free to leave comments down below. Until then, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Y'all have a great day and y'all stay safe out there.